we're gonna troubleshoot ring sling wearing. Now, I'm gonna assume you already know how to thread your sling, but what you wanna make sure is that when the fabric is coming through the rings here, that it's not twisted and folded on top of itself. So you wanna make sure that the fabric is nice and spread out so that you've got the two rails, so the edges of the sling, there's one edge, there's the other edge coming through the rails like that. Now, I wear my sling on the left shoulder, but really you can wear it on either shoulder, it doesn't really matter. So you're just going to slip it over your head. And I usually start out with the rings high up on my shoulder, almost on top of my shoulder to give me a little room for them to slide down, and toward the outside. Okay, so you're gonna spread the fabric of the sling, and this is for a hip carry since my baby's a bit bigger. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna make a little pocket. Here's the inside of the sling against my body. Here's the outside. It makes a little pocket right there. And then I need a baby who's escaping, excuse me. She's trying to climb the stairs. Are you trying to climb the stairs? This is Sierra. She's 10 months old. So I have my pocket. The sling is pretty loose. I'm going to put the baby through the sling. And she's through both sides. Her legs are on the other side. I'm going to slide her out wide so she's way over on my hip. Now I'm going to bend her leg up, okay, so that she will sit right in that pocket that I made. So you want her bum down in the pocket. And see, I have this loose fabric here underneath. So the first thing I do is I'm going to tighten that lower rail by pulling on the outside edge of the sling. Okay? And now you see we have a lot of loose fabric right here. So by pulling on the inside edge of the tail, I tighten that up. And it can come all the way up to her shoulders like that, so she's nice and secure. And then I have some loose stuff in the middle here, so now I pull and tighten the middle of the sling. Okay? I'm going to do a few little minor adjustments. Now, she's in there good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sling and pull it so it cups the outside of my shoulder. And then I turn around and I grab this bottom rail right here and pull out to make sure the fabric is all the way spread across my shoulder. Sometimes I have to do another minor adjustment, pull that sling out to the edge, and now you can see the baby's hanging a little bit. See how her leg is almost straight down? So I'm going to just grab under her thigh, pull her foot up, and see that loose fabric that I created when I did that? I'm going to pull that outside edge of the tail and tighten that down, tighten through the sling, and then she's all secure. And see, she's nice and high. She's seated in the sling. Her bum is down. So she's grabbing my earring. So we're going to troubleshoot a little bit. So let's say your sling is hurting you. What can be the problem? First of all, one of the problems might be that the sling is up against your neck like this. Okay, that can cause pressure points on your neck. And if I turn around now, you see how the fabric is all bunched up across my back like this? Stop grabbing my earring. That's going to cause that pressure point. So the easiest way to deal with that is to lift the baby up under the bum. So you get a little slack, pull the top of the sling out over your shoulder, and that automatically starts to spread the fabric out. And then you can just sort of adjust it a little bit like that. Now, another problem might be that, okay, you have that spread out, but if the baby is seated really low like this, then that's also going to, over time, cause back pain. So all you want to do is you want to grab under the baby's bum, pull her up to your waist level, and now I have a lot of extra fabric in here. So you just sort of start tightening through each rail, tighten the middle, tighten the lower rail of the fabric, and get her nice and snug. Okay? You can pull that up to her shoulders if you want or not. Sometimes if the fabric is not, here's another problem. The fabric is not totally under the baby's bum. So you see that she's against me, but her leg is sort of hanging straight down out of the bottom of the sling. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can stand up a little bit. See how her leg is just sort of hanging down like that? Now that, she could easily slip out of there. She doesn't feel very secure to me. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to pull her up under her bum. I'm going to bend her leg, and I'm going to pull that fabric right under her bum and all the way up to her knees so that it makes a little seat for her, and she's now essentially sitting in the sling and resting on my hip, right? Another problem that I sometimes have is the baby will sort of slide over to the front of me when I really want her to be on my hip. Now this one can be a little bit more difficult to deal with, but what you want to do, I usually loosen the top rail of the sling. So I loosen her up a little bit, and then I'm just going to take my hand and stick it down behind her bum, okay? So now I'm basically holding her with my hand, and then I can grab the inside of the sling, the bottom rail, and I can pull that up as I slide her out, okay? So I pull the fabric up as I slide the baby out. Again, I'm pulling down on my shoulder. You're getting sick of this, huh? Oh, can I have a kiss? How about high five? High five. High five. No? Okay. So I slid her out and pulled the sling, and you can see now the rings are nice and high on my shoulder. Baby's back on my hip. Tighten the rail, tighten the middle. Now she's leaning back a bit, and that's because the fabric is really low down on her waist. So all I have to do is pull it up to her armpit. She can have her arms out. She likes her arms out. But pull it up around her back like that, and again, pull it in. I'm pulling around so that the extra fabric is in front so that I can pull it through the rings. So again, I can reach behind my back, make sure the fabric is nice and spread out across my back. The top of the sling is on the outer edge of my shoulder, so it's not pressing against my neck. And we're quite comfortable in here. Are you quite comfortable? Are you quite comfortable? You want that book? Can you smile? Hi! Hi! Say bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. And she does, you see how she bounced like that? She'll bounce right in the sling. And she's totally secure. So, good luck.